evening, everybody. Warm welcome. Hope everybody can hear me and see my desktop.
Yeah.
Extreme right side down, you can see a WebEx window. If you see that there is some noise or disturbance that could cause to class, if you feel that, you can right click on your name and say mute. Okay, whenever you have queries, you can unmute yourself and you can talk to me. Welcome to SharePoint 2010 Developer Competency Development Training Program. My name is Vamsi. I'm the coach for this training. Today's session, the demonstration session, is being conducted to evaluate the services that are being offered, what the training is going to be, how it is going to be, how comfort we are with each other, with the content, with the methodology, all these things. The agenda of the session is quite simple. The participant's introduction to make us aware of the previous knowledge what you have and what you're exactly looking for and what's your expectations. Trainer's introduction, it's my details, and then we're going to talk about the SharePoint 2010 overview, hardware software requirements, and any other questions if you have. So this is the agenda of the today's session. So let us start with participant's introduction. In this participant introduction, I'm more focused at your current technical knowledge in Microsoft technologies, your focus on especially .NET technologies, and your focus on previous versions of SharePoint if you have any. This is the core focus I am actually expecting for the participant introduction. Apart from that, your current work experience and name, other details. Can we start with Anil?
It will be. Hi guys, this is Anil. I'm working on .NET technologies. I have around 7 years of experience in .NET technologies and 2 to 3 years of experience in SharePoint 2007. SharePoint 2007 development. And currently I'm located in US.
What is your expectations out of this training?
Actually, I'm looking for completely development by using SharePoint 2010 technology.
Wonderful. Thank you, Anil. Dirastic, can you please introduce yourself? Astic? Hello, Astic. Can you please introduce yourself? Let's move to Bharat Jatwani.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Myself is Bharat, and I'm working currently with Alstom Projects India Limited, and I have a 2 years experience in .NET projects, and I will be working on .NET 3.5 more of my experience is only on desktop applications, and for one of our project requirement, we are planning to use SharePoint 2010 for collaboration of our reports in our company. So for that I need to learn SharePoint, and I don't have any experience, for prior experience on any SharePoint version 2007 or 2010. So it will be a new development environment for me, and based on my learning, I have to implement these things. Okay, bye.
Right now, which country you are resided in? You're from
I'm in India. Yeah, India. Yes, okay. India, Calcutta. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Bharat. Astic, can you please introduce yourself? Pankaj?
Yeah. Hi. Good morning and good evening to everyone. This is Pankaj. I have like more than 10 years of experience working on Microsoft technologies. I have been working on ERP integration and using Microsoft technologies to develop interfaces. My concentration on .NET is mainly on VB.NET. I did project management for some ASP.NET projects, but hands-on I don't have that much experience. I worked on SharePoint 2007, but not as a developer or an architect. I was more of like a user, where we were converting the existing reporting system into SharePoint. So I have a fair bit of idea about how SharePoint works and what are the functionalities it provides to the end users. Previous background on SharePoint as a developer and administrator, I don't have none, but I've been reading a lot about SharePoint, so would not be a difficulty for me to pick that up. And the reason I'm planning on attending these sessions is to get the hands-on feel on SharePoint and start doing something hands-on in SharePoint 2010. So that's my basically the reason why I'm attending this training.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pankaj.
Yeah.
So you are from which place you are right
I'm based out of Dallas, Texas, USA.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I think Astic and Asbestos can't hear. Astic? Can you hear me? Bastos? Oh, I think actually chat window seems to be disabled now. They can't even send messages. What's his problem? Bastos? I think Astic spoke to us, right, before some time? Astic?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Astic, I can hear you. Can you please introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have a mic. Yeah. I'm just from Canada. I have some experience in .NET for years. But the last 6 years I've been working on MOS 2007 and recently on SharePoint 2010. So basically, I'm just trying to embark on a more solid SharePoint development.
Okay. So you have any experience on previous versions of MOS?
Yes.
2007 or 2003?
2007, but not as custom development. It's more of customization using SharePoint Designer.
Wonderful. Okay, .NET experience, how far you have into .NET? Is it a 2.0 or 3.0?
Well, especially what kind of things I work with .NET, it's actually more on 1.1, to be specific. That's it.
Okay. Thanks for the intro. We'll clear strong. Thanks everybody for the introduction. Everybody seems to be into, excuse me, I think S-Bash has a problem. Let's just go ahead, right? Okay, wonderful. Thanks everybody for the introduction. Got to know that some of you have development experience in .NET and some of you have knowledge on SharePoint 2007 or its previous versions. Some of you have good development experience on SharePoint 2007. And all of you wanted to upgrade yourself to SharePoint 2010 and develop custom applications using SharePoint 2020. Definitely, by end of this particular session, you'll understand what exactly you're going to learn out of this training and other things. Trainer's introduction. I am the coach for this training. My name is Vamsi Krishna. I have been working into SharePoint technologies from last 7 years, and I am into teaching from last 7 years. I have trained more than 1,000 people in SharePoint 2007 technologies. Some of them corporates. And I also consulted more than 12 companies in last 3 years for engaging their companies into the SharePoint 2007 product. Much of the areas include the collaboration, then business networking within the organizations, enterprise content management, and search applications. SharePoint 2010, I've been working into SharePoint 2010 from last 6 months from the beta version release. And we have started a project in SharePoint 2010 and started consulting a client. In terms of training, I have completed 2 sets of batches in USA for the training. This is my 3rd batch of SharePoint 2010 training. This is my introduction. In this particular class, I would like you to know much about what is the SharePoint 2010 all about, how different it is from its previous versions, what exactly we're going to do, and how this training is going to be. Any customer, before going to buy a product, he would see at the key investment areas of the product. So I would like to discuss the key investment areas what makes the customer to buy SharePoint 2010. The SharePoint, which is considered as business collaboration platform for the enterprise and web, has 6 key investment areas which are called as the 6 pillars of SharePoint. So if we are going to know about all the 6 pillars of SharePoint, the 6 key investment areas, it would be easy for me to define what is the SharePoint 2010. The 6 broad areas is sites, communities, content, search, insights, and composites. Sites. If some of you who have already have knowledge on SharePoint 2007, it would be easy for them to visualize what exactly these sites. The sites, this particular key pillar gives the basic capabilities to create the sites, to create the structure where you can store the information, where you can share the information, where you can perform all the basic operations that allows you to engage your employees within the company with each other, employees outside the company, all these things. It allows the users to create sites as fast as possible. Say suppose, for example, I have an organization with say 10 subsites. So before actually going to this particular site section, I'll just have a question for you guys. I have an organization with say 5 departments and 5,000 users. For company XYZ, I have 5,000 people and 5 departments. Say HR, marketing, finance, I have a requirement that I would like to build an intranet portal for this organization, which is used to provide collaboration for the organization, where they would like to store and share the information across the company, and they would like to have some kind of business networking within the organization and all the effective possible communication among the employees. So this is the requirement. They have a home, subsite for each department, so each department subsite have these facilities: a document repository where they can store documents, ability to create some kind of announcements where they would like to pass the information to the employees. They would like to have some kind of surveys where they can take the polls, etc. They would like to have some blogs within the subsite, some kind of wiki pages within the subsite where they would like to share the information among each other. So then they have a search center where they can search for content as well as people. They would like to integrate their existing systems within the organization which are available on SAP and CVL. So I would like to integrate that SAP and CVL data into the current intranet portal that is being developed. They need to have some kind of reports from different data sources such as SQL, say kind of data in Excel, etc. They would like to have all those reports. Then all the 5,000 employees should have their own profile pages. Where they can create their profiles, upload their pictures, then share their thoughts, communicate better along with other colleagues. Some kind of networking among the employees. This should be accessible in and out of the office, and the privilege should be based on the level in the company. So this is the requirement. For an organization XYZ, which has 5,000 people and 5 departments, I would like to develop an intranet portal, which has a root site, then sub-site for each department. Each sub-site has a document repository, announcements, surveys, blogs, some kind of wikis. All the 5 subsites should have all these features. Then I need to have a search center, because as I'm storing so many documents on the top, I would like to have an effective search center which can search for content as well as people. And I would like to integrate data from SAP and CVK applications which are already existing in my company. I would like to integrate with my new intranet portal that is being developed. Then I also have some reports developed in SQL and Excel and other reporting tools. I would like to have them into my new intranet portal. Then all the 5,000 employees should be able to create their own profiles just like your Facebook or Orkut. And they can upload their pictures, they can share their thoughts, they can communicate with each other much more better way. So networking within the business. Then this should be, entire application should be accessible from the office or outside the office. And everybody should have the access permissions to the application based on their level in the organization. So this is a basic intranet portal requirement. A small company would like to have a basic intranet portal for their communication, for their data sharing, for their content management, for their business networking, for their employee engagement, and for their communication. This is a basic requirement, an intranet portal, what they are looking at. So could you tell me how much time this would take to develop an application of this kind? Any idea how much time this would take to develop an application? If somebody already into the SharePoint 2007, they may excuse. But people who are not into the SharePoint or who would like to express their views, how much time this would take to develop an application of this kind? This is only to, not to exaggerate anything, but this is only to let the people know how powerful the SharePoint is. So,
hi, this is Anil.
Yes, Anil.
Yeah, I can say we can develop this kind of portal in 4 to 6 months.
So using which technology?
March 2007.
Why so long? Okay.
And also like including .NET kind of development as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but excluding, this is Pankaj actually, excluding SharePoint, let's say if you don't have the MOS or, SharePoint technologies available, to develop this kind of a portal, let's say in ASP.NET, using ASP.NET, would probably take, 6 to 8 months of time.
Okay, thank you. Bharat, what is your view?
I think it would be around 5 months job to integrate all this using ASP.NET. But with MOS, I don't have any experience, so I won't comment on that.
ASTIC?
I don't know about the integration with SAP and SQL. Apart from that, I don't think it should take too long because most of the things we talk about are out of the box functionality. Usually, website list department up to the search center, the profile page, which is a my site thing. That's what I'm thinking. That's the my site functionality of SharePoint. So I don't think it should take more than, again, I'm not sure about the SAP and the reporting part, which I haven't worked at, but it shouldn't take more than 3 months, I would imagine.
Correct. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for the views. I think as Bastos, I don't know whether he'll be able to reply us or not. As Bastos, you can talk to us. Okay. Yeah, some say that using ASP.NET, you would like to answer this. Are you annotating something? Because, yeah, okay. So this particular application, if you see, as people said in Microsoft.NET, ASP.NET, it takes 6 months, say 5 months, which is true. But in SharePoint, if you see, a basic intranet portal, maybe with much more and more facilities than this, can be developed just in 1 week time using SharePoint 2010. People say who have experience in 2007, they say that this is most of this is out of box, and it can be done quite in a month or so. But an intranet portal with 5 times more powerful than this can be developed just in a week in SharePoint 2010. It's not exaggeration. SharePoint 2010 is definitely much more powerful than any of its other versions. I would like to take you through the 6 pillars or 6 key investment areas of SharePoint. Maybe some part would be boring for the people who already know SharePoint 2007, but you have to really bear with me, because at this time if you feel that they're quite basic, but I would like also to take the other guys who are actually new to the SharePoint 2010. So if you just feel that you're getting bored for the first stuff, yeah, please bear with me. But later on, you won't face any such kind of things, because there is very few common topics among SharePoint 2007, 2000. Completely it's new, even you are a SharePoint 2007 user, except the concept of web parts and list and libraries, nothing going to be similar. You are going to see completely a new, fresh look and feel. Maybe, what you feel that you know are list libraries and web parts, but later on that, you would feel that you are completely in a new world. You feel that you are not using SharePoint. It's a completely new stuff. Yeah. That's a part, yeah. Let's go with the key investment areas: the sites, communities, content, search, insights, and composites. I would like to take through each key investment area so that it would be easy for me to define what is the SharePoint 2010. First one is sites. Sites gives the basic capabilities to create structure, the application structure, where you can represent your organization's intranet portal, represents your organization's website, whatever it is, the complete structure that is required for representing a particular application is being provided by sites. It has rich look and feel, beautiful master pages, wonderful web experience where you have direct integration of Ajax and Silverlight. There is no page refresh anywhere. You have complete integration with 2010 Office client. You have complete integration with SharePoint mobiles. Whatever the business mobiles you see, that can be automatically used in SharePoint mobiles, the business mobiles. And you have much more wider space to create the best hierarchy for your sites. Say suppose for a previous example, if you see, for 5,000 users, you have say 10 departments. So 10 departments, the root site, the structure, and each sub-site might have some other sites below it. So all this structure, say suppose you have 50 sites, you would like to differentiate the structure. So hardly it takes you 1 hour to create a 50 structured site. So site's capability will allow you to create the entire structure of the site, the hierarchy, very well with much more advanced features. For a user who is into SharePoint 2007, if you see, for the comparison, so in SharePoint 2007 you have very, very limited themes, around 21 themes that are available. But in 2010 there is no number for limiting the themes. You have wide options where you can create your own themes from the out-of-box features there itself, and you can apply it. So you can have rich look and feel. You can have the Ajax integration and Silverlight integration right in SharePoint sites. So there is no page refresh, there is no page reload. It's completely super fast and best look and feel. And all these things can be created just in a moment. Apart from that, you have close integration with Microsoft Office client and close integration with mobile access. So this is the site's functionality, which talked about creation of sites with basic features with much more better experience than any other application can provide. The second key investment area that talks about is communities. This is quite self-explanatory. Bringing multiple people together, allowing them to communicate better among each other. It all talks about communities. Say suppose in an organization having say 10,000 employees with multiple diversified global locations across the world, for them, definitely their colleagues are definitely outsiders. They never interact with each other very often. So communities is something which is introduced for providing the better business networking within the organization. So business networking is something similar to the social networking, what you are doing in the Facebook, Orkut, LinkedIn, the social networking, what you do, Twitter. The same kind of social networking you do within the company, then that is called as business networking. When you do for the outside the company, probably for in an open world, if you are doing it is social networking. With your friends, with your families, maybe with unknown people, with your same people who are into similar area of your stuff, then it is social networking. When you are doing something within your company, say you have 10 global locations, you are communicating with all your friends within the company, which also be official sometimes, is called business networking. So communities inside this SharePoint 2010 allows us for better business networking solutions where everybody can create their own profiles, they can upload their pictures, they can share your thoughts, they can write blogs, they can add friends, they can create groups, they can form communities, they can perform all the possible ways of communicating with each other within the company. So all this comes under the communities. For people who have already experienced the SharePoint 2007, SharePoint 2010 is coming up with much more better advanced features of bookmarking, tagging, rating, feed. If somehow who are try to customize business networking in SharePoint 2007, we know how hard it is to write custom web parts for rating, tagging. If somebody have already done, it was quite hard. Say suppose some user writes a blog, I would like to rate for it. Adding this particular rating web part everywhere, and it was very hard for me as a user to develop. All those things are now out of box. So everybody can tag a particular page, say the like it a page, bookmarking, rating, feeds. All these are newly introduced in SharePoint 2010. And one more thing is video player, picture player. Just like your Orkut, you can add in Facebook, you can add your videos and you can show to your friends. All these things are much more easier in SharePoint 2010 now. So SharePoint 2010's communities part has emerged as a complete business networking solution. Down the line, 6 months or 1 year, we don't know how many social networking portals gonna come up out of SharePoint 2010, because these guys who have developed the Facebook or whatever it is, these applications, they would have taken long time because they are developed in .NET and everything is custom development. If you see all those facilities, whatever they are using right now, say what's on your mind, all this stuff is available in 2010 now. All these are available. So it would be very easy for me to customize it and release as a social networking portal. So let's see how many more and more business networking portals coming out of these communities, because this is emerged as a powerful platform for business networking. Communities. So for the buyers, this has become the very, very key investment area. And then content. So the first thing comes to everyone's mind when you talk about SharePoint is content management system, because from the day one it's released in 2001, 2003, 2007, every time it is mostly projected as a content management system. Definitely, yes, it's a powerful content management system. In 2007, it has better features, and 2010, if you talk about, it has wonderful features competing with any dedicated content management system. As you know, organizations, the main core part is content. They would like to preserve the content. They would like to perform all the possible productions for the content. Some kind of rights management, some kind of disabling the read operation, editing, then projecting the content only for the right people, right target audience. So because the content is very valuable within the company. So content, key investment area in SharePoint 2010.
This is Joe.
Hello? Somebody would like to speak to me? So content key investment area is very powerful compared to its previous versions, which include the document management, records management, and web content management. The very key important change for the 2007 users, specifically what I'm mentioning is large lists and libraries. We have a limitation for lists, right? 2,000 items per view. We can only store 2,000 items per list. We can't store more than that. If you're storing more than that, the system gonna slow down and the list gonna break up. So you have several problems with SharePoint lists earlier. Now, we are introducing large lists and libraries within SharePoint, where we are trying to increase the size, the number of items that are stored in the list. Apart from that, you don't have relationships and projections in the lists and libraries of 2010, 2007. But the projections, relationships, everything has come up in large lists and libraries now. Then enterprise metadata. which is really wonderful feature. You would like to have a global metadata set and you want to attach to the content, the metadata to each and content, which is very easy for me to search as well as categorize. So enterprise metadata is introduced and document sets, and then allowing large business data such as the kind of videos or large files as attachments within the content. So all these features are introduced in content. So content itself, the particular key investment area, helped the SharePoint 2010 to emerge as a dedicated content management system for large enterprises also. Search. Definitely, when I talk about content management system within the company, definitely there is need of powerful search mechanism to get the output, the desired data at desired time. For the users who are into 2007 or its earlier version, they would have seen how powerful the search is. Yeah, the same thing continued here. Search in SharePoint 2010 is very powerful. It can search the data from SharePoint sites, external websites, file shares, your Outlook folders, your line of business applications in just a fraction of seconds. At the same time, the search can also search for users. Say suppose your project manager would like to search for users who have experience in say networking, who are experienced in say .NET, Java, SharePoint. If you would like to search something, say you would like to say list of people who are from Dallas, kind of that search. So content search as well as people search, both are available in the search mechanism. The search in SharePoint 2010 is extremely fast. This is being built on using the same algorithm that uses msnsearch.com. Quite interactive. There is huge amount of effort put on retrieving the results using ranking and relevance. You can connect to documents or related stuff from the search center itself quite fastly. It also provides multi-language search. You can categorize the documents based on the language you're searching, say English, Spanish, Chinese. You can categorize the documents. You can categorize the search. Quite interesting and quite interactive. So hope you are comfortable with the first three investment areas of SharePoint. I'm sorry, guys, could you please mute yourselves at your end? Dear attendee, can you please mute at your end from where this is coming from? Where is this coming from? Maybe now it's fine. Guys, do you have any queries in the first three pillars of SharePoint? I don't think so much queries coming up from there, but yeah, please, if you have any. So do you want me to proceed or do you have any queries? Okay. Insights. Another key investment area. This completely talks about the business intelligence. Business intelligence in SharePoint 2010. This connects to multiple data sources, right from minor databases such as Excel, Access, to completely high-end databases, SQL Server, SAP, CBIL, DB2. Get data from different places, try to analyze the data, show the data in useful, beautiful reports, which helps the business, which helps the people to analyze the business. It has wonderful features, say Excel services, which has completely close integration with Excel, business connectivity services, which has close interaction with line of business data applications, then performance point services. This is the biggest achievement of insights in SharePoint 2010. Because earlier, if you would like to generate dashboards, performance point server is a different version. It's a different software. You need to learn performance point servers and then generate reports there and bring here. But in SharePoint 2010, performance point services is closely integrated as a same product in SharePoint 2010. When you open any SharePoint site with Insights feature, you can see a performance point server designer there, which is very user-friendly. You can connect to the SharePoint list. You can connect to whatever the databases directly from the performance point services, then create a dashboard and just deploy here, and that directly comes to SharePoint. So in the previous days, till now, performance point server is a different software. It's a different server. It's a different license. You need to buy it, you need to develop there, then you need to bring those files and deploy in SharePoint. Then it's a hell. It doesn't connect sometime, it connects sometime, it doesn't have close interaction with SharePoint, list, etc. And performance point services in Insights 60. This has come up with something called Performance Point Services Designer, which is a part of SharePoint site. You just click there, you can create wonderful dashboards there itself, and then yes, close integration with all the SharePoint stuff, and then generate reports. In few minutes, you are able to generate beautiful dashboards using Performance Point Services, which was never possible before. Then SQL Server, which we already spoke about, the complete close interaction. Then Gemini. Gemini is a powerful reporting tool that came in SharePoint 2010 version. The version Gemini is a powerful reporting tool that they have introduced in Insights, this version, SharePoint 2010, which is completely quite a new product to develop reports. And then Visual Services. Microsoft Visual 2010 is closely integrated with SharePoint 2010. You can generate, you can write some flow in Visual, and you can just convert that to SharePoint and bring here and then integrate that flow into the SharePoint here. So that's the Insights talk about, which is a powerful tool where you can integrate with business data and get the reports, and then helps the users to analyze the business. So if you see Insights, probably people from SharePoint 2000 would have observed that there is a lot more changes happened into this particular version. Composites. Composites, probably I think this is the only reason SharePoint is much being talked in the market and everybody is using this. That's the only reason. The ability to develop applications composites. The ability to create solutions in SharePoint without involving corporate IT request. this is nothing but providing access to developers or providing access to the site collection administrators to deploy some things on SharePoint root site, SharePoint application, without actually the administrator's involvement. You have wonderful tools, SharePoint Designer, InfoPath Forms, Access Services, Sandbox Solutions, and Business Connectivity Services. This talks about two things. One is reducing the usage of the administrator. So if I would like to deploy something, say I have developed a sample application, I would like to deploy that. So what I should do? I have to definitely ask my corporate IT for deploying this for administrator access. No, I don't want to do that. First I would like to deploy on my own. What to do? Sandbox solutions, immediate answer. So you can create sandbox solutions within the SharePoint. You can just build applications, you can create application, deploy directly from SharePoint site also. You get the WSP, then just deploy into the SharePoint site right from here. So at the same time, involvement of a developer is hardly, if you see SharePoint Designer, Business Connectivity Services, these are come up with completely advanced features where you can develop applications without involvement of a developer. If you have good knowledge on what is the requirement and how to use this, you can develop some of the applications directly without involvement of developers. So that talks about composites. Composite talks about how we can remove the uses of the involvement of developers as well as involvement of administrator. So these are the 6 pillars of SharePoint: sites, communities, content, search, insights, and composites. Hope I have given enough on each area for the new users as well as for some comparisons for the users who are already into SharePoint 2007. So now it would be easy for me to define what is SharePoint. SharePoint 2010 is a powerful portal framework where you can develop applications which involves all these things, sites, where you can create sites, huge number of sites, site structures with complete high-end user interfaces, complete high-end customizations, rich look and feel, with Office integrations, and then mobile phone integration. Then when you would like to develop applications which are like business networking applications within the company, which engages users, which allows a better communication for the users. When you would like to have proper content management with rich features, document sets, enterprise metadata. Then when you would like to have a effective search center, a multi-language, then multifaceted ranking and relevant search mechanism. When you would like to have the complete business intelligence solutions with effective integration with latest tools of the performance point services, visual services, all these things, and then reduction of corporate data request and development team request for every small change. When you want to have an application of all these high-end facilities, yes, the SharePoint 2010 is a powerful portal framework which can deliver all these things in time. So this is the basic introduction on the key investment areas of SharePoint 2010. Do you have any queries till this part?
Hi, I'm Sunil here.
Yes, Anil.
The insights, you said everything is coming in SharePoint 2010, right? Including, can you open the slide, insights?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, here performance point services.
Exactly. Performance point services is not a separate product from now on. It's same product within SharePoint. You know, when you open a site collection, you will have a right side, you link with performance points designer. You can directly design performance point server reports right from SharePoint. It's not a separate product anymore. It's same product that comes with SharePoint.
Okay. Okay.
You remember developing dashboards using performance point server separately, right, in 2007? Because it's a two different products.
I mean, I don't have much knowledge about reporting side in 2007 version, but this time, you know, like I would like to concentrate more on BI.
Yeah, because this is quite a major change in the new version.
Okay. And also, like as you said, like insights, like it's all about getting data from the raw resources, right? Raw data.
Yeah, when see raw data in the sense, yes, you can't say it is raw data because it's from a relational database. It's structured data.
Oh, okay, okay, that's fine then. Yeah.
Astic, you have any questions?
Well, I am actually more interested about your training program, how it works. If you can explain that, that would be great. And how much it costs?
Sure, wonderful. I'll come to that point in a moment, sir.
Yeah, Vamsi, I have a question on compatibility with this SharePoint 2010. Can I connect to SQL Server 2000 database, or it only requires connection to 2005 and 2010?
No, you can connect to 2005, 2000 also. You mean to say in terms of deploying the software?
Yeah.
No, 2000, yeah. See, you can connect to 2000, but it doesn't support all the features.
Yeah, most of new stuff that is coming out of Microsoft, they are not providing backward compatibility. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on it. Yeah.
So then you have compatibility. You can deploy SharePoint in 2000 also.
Okay. Okay.
Vamsi, I have another question. Can we migrate or convert existing 2007 applications or sites into the 2010 version?
Of course, yes. Of course,
okay,
you can migrate. People already started migrating applications.
So how difficult it is, like?
It depends on the application, how complex you have in 2007. If it is a simple
Yeah,
content management system,
yeah. Yep.
If you have a simple content management system, that's quite straightforward. Okay. If you have some kind of customization in terms of master base and all, you might have to redesign some of the content placeholders. If you have complex forms and database connections, you might have to check each and every compatibility. But it's not what Microsoft did is not at all a hard task. Migration framework is quite well designed in 2000. That's what they say.
Okay. Actually, I have one portal which is running on 2007, which is all about content management system. I can save it as a template and I can upload the template into the 2010 version, right? Is that possible?
Yeah, it is possible.
Okay. Thank you.
Bharat, Jatwani, and S. Bastos.
Yeah, right now I don't have any doubts here.
Okay. So I'll just quickly go through the improvements and then I'll go ahead with the training pattern and other things. Improvements in development, if you see. New SharePoint APIs, of course, a common guess from everybody. Application lifecycle for better performance. And then it has come up with a new tool called Visual Studio 2010. Visual Studio 2010 is simply wonderful. You can create everything directly from Visual Studio. You do not need to write so much long codes or features and then WSP packages. Okay. Quite well integrated with SharePoint 2010. Visual Studio 2010 is really wonderful tool, and its support is available for us. in 2010 version. And developer dashboard. This is extremely well. Developer dashboard, what it does is, say suppose you are loading a page. Say you have 10 pages, out of 10 pages, 8 pages are loading in just 5 seconds, and the other 2 pages, one taking 15 seconds, another taking 20 seconds. Definitely when client comes to me and asks why it is taking so much time, but I don't know. I don't know why it's taking 20 minutes time, 20 seconds time. I don't know why it's taking only 5 seconds and why it's taking 15 seconds. Yes. The answer to it is developer dashboard. Developer dashboard, once you activate developer dashboard, on the page, it shows the complete calculations. What part of the code it is taking, how many milliseconds. Say, you have opened a site, this is taking 2 milliseconds. You are connecting to the database, it is taking 8 seconds, so there is a problem with the database here, database connection. So it gives you complete understanding how the entire dashboard, for your particular code. When you load a page, what exactly the time taken in each part of it is completely shown in developer dashboard. And very important thing is, till now when you would like to develop applications, definitely you have to sit on a server machine and work, or you have to remotely connect to a server machine. In SharePoint 2010, development is possible from Windows 7 as well as Windows Vista. In terms of administration, improvements are improved upgrade.
Hey Vamsi, this is Pankaj.
Yes, Pankaj?
For SharePoint 2010, do you need a 64-bit machine?
I'm coming to that, yes, you need a 64-bit machine.
Okay.
Improved upgrade, the improved migration mechanism, what to say. Throttling, health monitoring, analytics. Throttling, which talks about warnings. When you are crossing certain limits, say you are running 250 web service on a single site collection. It says, no, it's not healthy. It shows you a warning. Then you have PowerShell integration. Some of the people already know about PowerShell. PowerShell is closely integrated with SharePoint now. Then identity management improvements. You have new authentication model has come up here. Scalability and availability, which every product says that they have improved. Yes. That's all. This is already we have discussed what's new in different parts. Then hardware and software. Hardware, if you see, there is really rapid change in hardware. Earlier, there were many cases, people started blaming Microsoft for the performance, but still the problem is with their hardware. Because everybody used to have 32-bit machines with less RAM. The minimum requirement for SharePoint 2010 is everything to be 64-bit machines, minimum 200 GB hard disk, minimum 4 GB RAM for a developer machine, and minimum 8 GB RAM for a server machine. But yes, without 4 GB RAM it doesn't work, but most of the developers prefer having at least 8 GB RAM. 64-bit processor, that too dual core processor. Okay, but all this for a ideal environment, but for a developer, for you and me, just for practicing, if you have 64-bit, that is sufficient. But when you suggest for a server, they say 4-core, 64-bit data cables, 64-bit RAM, 64-bit, completely 64-bit machine, the 16 GB RAM for a server machine. That's what they say. But for a developer, if you see, 2 GB, if you might face some problems, but 4 GB is identical. Sorry, ideal, and then 64-bit machine. When coming to software, Windows Server 2008 R2 is operating system. Database is SQL Server 2008 R2. IIS 7.4. SharePoint 2010 and Microsoft Office 2010 and Visual Studio 2010. When it comes to for us developers, as a practice, first question that comes into mind is, do I need to install everything for my practice purpose? No, not definitely. First option is Microsoft has given you virtual PC, the VHD hard disk for free. The Contoso.com's VHD, you can download it and use it on your Windows 7. Second thing is, you can get the probably free trials for some time, probably which works for 6 months from now. On Windows 7 you can work, or you can have academic editions. But as a developer, you can also work on Windows 7. No need to install Windows Server. The same thing can be installed in Windows 7 also, which is another positive part for it. This is about the hardware and software requirements. In terms of roles, what we are going to perform. You probably, SharePoint users, SharePoint developers, and SharePoint administrators. Coming to this training, this is the content. This is quite prepared in competent with Microsoft official curriculum. This content would need 60 hours for the completion. So this starts from the basics to okay. I expect people to do, even the people who know SharePoint previous versions or no, that is not required, because from A to Z this is covered, but you need to have knowledge on Microsoft.NET for development stuff. But if you are looking for administration, you might skip the development thing and go. This is the content which starts from the scratch, very basic to the complete high-end. The first part overview, the talks about the modules. 6 modules talks about the out-of-box features, and then it talks about different development methodologies. So on all the 6 key investment areas, we're going to develop applications completely practically. So here I'll be developing each application, and then we'll be doing practice sessions together. This involves a case study also, which is Honda Intranet Portal. That is a case study. So out of this 60 hours of training, you will also have case study for this training. So after completing, say, a week sessions, I will start giving you the case study. So you can work on the case study meanwhile, and then we can have a discussion, so that whatever you are going to listen in the class, whatever you are going to get in the class, you are immediately trying to implement it. So as this is instructor-led online training, it would be painful for you to take kind of notes or whatever it is. So with respect of all those things, we provide you lab manuals. Whatever you are going to discuss in the class, everything is provided in lab manual. I'll just open a couple of lab manuals for your convenience. Say suppose today's class, this is first class, lab manuals part 1. So whatever we discussed, so we're going to have here. So for every session, lab manuals will be provided in the same way. Say suppose some kind of programming, say sandbox solutions. Can you see these lab manuals? So in this way, lab manuals will be provided for each and every module.
So, Amchi, do we need to download the VHD and then start practicing? Like, how the hands-on part of this training will be conducted?
Hands-on session, basically, I do not conduct any hands-on session because I will be doing the program here, and then lab manuals will be given to you. You can start working on your machines. Okay, how you work on your machines is 2 options. One is you can download VHD. Second thing is you can have, obviously you will be having Windows 7. You can download the free trial versions and then go ahead.
Well, I don't have Windows 7. I have Windows Vista.
Windows Vista is also fine.
Okay.
So So this is the training pattern. This is the 60-hour training with a case study, and then for practice we'll be giving lab manuals. Apart from lab manuals, I'll also provide you some kind of study materials, PPTs, videos, materials, e-books, etc. So, but this lab manuals is completely explanatory, which reflects the class and which contains A to Z. Apart from this, we'll also give you other stuff and then case study. So this is the training pattern. Class would be 5 days a week and 1.5 hours to 2 hours a day. Then coming to weekends, it's up to your convenience. If you're basically based on the majority. Generally we don't conduct any class 5 days a week. That's what we go. But yes, when sometimes demand, when we had to spend more time on case studies or something, then weekend would be everybody can have more time. Then we can together discuss and come to take a date. But this is a generic pattern what we go with. The aspect, you're clear with the training pattern, or you have some questions? Hope I answered.
Sorry, you have answered most of it, but I have a question. You say 5 days a week, and how many hours per day is that?
2 hours a day.
2 hours?
Yeah, 1.5 to 2 hours generally, based on the topic we choose. But generally 2 hours, it sometimes move between this, for 10 minutes flicks here and there, based on the content what we are covering and queries.
Okay. What time are we talking about? Is it just like today, like 8:30 Eastern time?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have options. You can generally 8:30 is one slot, and we have another slot at 7 o'clock. You can choose.
Even 7 p.m.
Yeah.
7 p.m. like Eastern time or the Central time?
Eastern time.
Okay, that will be too early for me. I'm in the Central region.
Oh, okay. Then 8:30 is we can go.
Right. So basically we are looking for like 6 weeks from now, like 60 hours, so 2 hours a day, so 10 hours a week.
Correct. Then if we spend some time in the weekend on a mutual agreement, we will be able to do it in much before. Say we are spending one Saturday at least. Then it would be, on Saturdays definitely all of us free. We can spend more time. At least daytime, Saturday daytime. But yes, if you see from now on, including case study and other discussions, it will take 6 weeks to complete this completely.
And whatever the software and hardware requirement you spoke about, for our purpose, like for developers to do the hands-on, do we need to basically upgrade our systems, or I'm not very sure about the VHD because it comes with a 30-day trial, and VHD also requires some sort of specific operating systems, 32-bit or 64-bit machines.
I prefer 64-bit.
Okay, but for that I'll have to probably buy a new laptop then. The one I have is like 32-bit, so the VHD works on 32-bit, or VHD also needs a 64-bit?
No, 64-bit only.
Okay.
VHD I'm not really sure because I haven't tried the VHD that Microsoft gives us.
And
okay.
I'm sorry?
If it is VHD, it doesn't matter, right? We have 32-bit
I think, yeah, it doesn't.
Right, it should not be a matter of concern because I used 2007 VHD, which worked, it comes out with a, sort of administrative application where you go and it allows you to play around with a 30-day trial. But for 2010, I'm not sure the VHD should be similar, or it also has a separate prerequisite for a machine.
PHP, I don't think because it's itself independent machine. It will have its own environment. But what I said, I have not tried it, but I don't think it's an issue with PHP.
Oh, okay.
Vamsi, are you going to start with the installation of SharePoint 2010 or are you going to start from the...
Nothing, man. There is nothing much. Yeah, I'll guide you over phones, but not in the class.
Okay.
So in this class, we'll be covering the deployment also, like let's say if you have to deploy the portal, whatever we developed.
Yeah, WSPs and all. You will see from every day the stuff when we start development.
Okay.
And from your end, you have 2008 server and everything, right? To do
I am working on Windows 7. Windows 7.
Okay, what about the server?
There is no need of server for developers. You can Windows Server can be used or Windows 7 can be used. That's the specialty of 2010.
Oh, you mean to say like no need to have Windows 2008 server?
No, not required.
Okay.
Not at all required.
Okay.
Okay, any other queries? Yes, Bastos, you have some problem with your audio or I'm not sure. You're comfortable? Because I didn't get a chance to talk to you yet. Bastos? Okay, I think he left. That's all, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask me. The classes would start from today's Sunday, right? From Tuesday, where classes will be started.
Vamsi, can you share this, piece of PPT with all of us so that we will know, what all things we'll be covering and all that?
Basically, PPT. This is a trainer-specific PPT, but all these things is put over in a document, as I told you already. Say suppose this part 1, it's much more explanation for students version is placed already. So we'll provide you this.
Okay.
The manual part 1, if you see the key investment areas, if you talk about. So this
right.
is the document. So this will be shared with you. This is much more clear.
Okay.
The same thing what we are discussing there with much explanation and better screenshots for your understanding as put over.
Okay.
I have a question for you. When is this class starting, you said?
I said Tuesday evening. This Sunday, Monday is break for one day, and then to get the things settled up. From Tuesday, we'll start the classes.
Are they coming Tuesday? Is that the plan?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So how much do you charge?
Probably pricing and all you can discuss with the admin team. They will get in touch with you. I am the trainer.
Oh, okay.
So Tuesday 8:30 is what we are finalizing on, right?
Correct, sir.
As per Indian time, it will be, I think, on Wednesday, 17th.
Yeah, Indian time it's 7 o'clock. For UK, I think there is one person from UK also, Sharda. She is not seen actually for some problem. She can't talk to us. For UK time, it is 1:30 a.m. For US time, it is 8:30 p.m. Indian time, 7 o'clock a.m. I think, yeah, people from these 3 countries are here.
So, Vamsi, just a question for you. What kind of, I know you talked about all the requirements in terms of software, hardware, but just to start the class, what exactly do I need to have?
I'm sorry, please repeat.
No, in terms of like software requirements, if I have SharePoint 2010, Office 2010, Is that enough or other software as well?
Software, basically 64-bit hardware completely software. Windows 7 or Windows Server, SQL Server, IIS 6.0, .NET Framework and Visual Studio.
Well, basically, if you want to use your laptop or whatever desktop, then probably you would need all the software. So, just in case, if I have to use VHD, the VHD should have all these things, right?
Exactly, you'll have everything in VHD. But yes,
Okay.
all these things you can download and you can install. All the students, that's what they do. Everything has 6 months trial period.
Yeah, but the deal is like, my machine is a 32-bit machine, so I'll have to,
Yeah, you have to install VHD.
Right.
As a student, we can utilize trial version. We are official to use that, I think.
Right. And along with that also, like, you need to have Windows 7, so I have Windows Vista, so it sometimes gives problems, SharePoint, so instead of buying a new laptop, I would probably, use a VHD.
Correct, that's correct.
How often do you conduct these classes?
I'm sorry?
How often do you give, this kind of classes? For example, if I don't make it to this session, which starts next Tuesday, when will you have another batch of 10 classes?
Another batch, maybe after 15 days, but not at this time. It is at 7 o'clock.
It's going to be 7 o'clock Eastern time?
7 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay.
But if you want at this time, maybe, that takes at 7 o'clock, it takes, 15 days, 20 days. And if you would like to pay this class, maybe it takes 1 month, more than 1 month, 35 to 40 days.
Alright.
At 7 o'clock, you can have it, after 15 days.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, then. Have a great evening.
Yeah.
Thanks for attending the demo class. Thanks for your time. Our admin team will get in touch with you with the schedule and the invitation for throughout the training.
Until Tuesday, Vamsi, can you share this document with us till Tuesday so that we will also go through all these, things that will be covered in the training?
Definitely. You all have your email ID is registered, right, at this time?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, then no problem. I'll send it.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vamsi.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.